All right, so today I'm going to show you how to create a watermark in Photoshop to add to your images. This is going to tell me who shot the photo, so when I'm adding it to Instagram, I know who took it, and then your work is like labeled, okay, this belongs to so-and-so, and if somebody sees it and they like your work, they may look you up and then ask you about your photography. It kind of helps give you protection online, so like people know who took the photo, okay? Obviously, it doesn't give you 100% protection because people like to remove watermarks from the internet, which is a copyright violation, and you can be sued if you do that. So we're going to go ahead and get started creating a new file. We are going to make the width 500 pixels. You're going to switch it to pixels, and you're going to make your height. So let's go 250. So we're going to go half of our width. And we're going to name it your first name underscore watermark CMYK mode, and we're going to change this. Actually, you can change this to RGB. You're going to change your background contents from white to transparent, and then you're going to hit create. Okay, so it should look something like this. I'm going to set my color to black just so you can see it while I'm working, but just know that it's going to depend on the brush color that you use for when you actually stamp it onto your images. All right, so I'm going to change it to black right here. You can also change it right here. You can also change it once you start typing with your type tool up here. Okay, so I'm just going to click one time on my artboard, and I'm going to type out my name. Now, if you have an Instagram handle and you'd rather put that, that's totally fine. If you just want your name on there, that's okay. I like to have your name on there. That way I know who shot it. Again, it makes it a little bit easier for me when I'm printing stuff. All right, so we want it to just fit across this board. Wendy Temples, okay. And we're going to work on creating a logo later, but I'm going to type in photography on this one. And I can go ahead and modify this a little bit. So I'm going to change this font to something different, something a little bit simpler, not so decorative. Let's see, let's try this Adobe Clean. And then let's make this, smaller. Let's go with 10 because I'm going to kind of nestle it within this thing. Ooh, I could get creative and use the P, and let's try that. So if I put, I'm gonna make this smaller. Might have to make it a little bit smaller. All right, so I could do something like that, right? So this is your watermark or your logo, not necessarily a logo, right? Because we would put more time into making a logo, but that could be your watermark. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create this, I'm gonna turn this into a brush, okay? So I'm gonna go to Edit, Define Brush Preset, and I'm going to, it should have a name if you named it when you first started, and I'm gonna hit okay. All right, now we're gonna open up a photo and see what happens when I stamp this brush. All right, so here's a picture that I shot of the moon, and I'm gonna change my brush color to white. I'm gonna hit okay. I'm gonna create a brand new layer, okay? If I don't create a brand new layer, what happens is when I stamp my brush or my watermark, it puts it directly on that photo. That is an editing or a destructive edit, and we don't want that. So you wanna create a brand new layer, click here, and then I'm gonna make my brush bigger. So using the bracket keys on my keyboard, the right bracket is making it bigger. I'm gonna put it right here, and there's my watermark. And now I can come in here and I can make some adjustments. So it's kind of bright, right? So if I wanted it to just be a little bit more muted, I could come up to where it says opacity and I could lower that down. I could also go to the blend mode, which is right here where it says normal, and go to, let's see. I could do pen light, I could do lighten, I could do screen. Any of these are going to lighten it up. Okay, so you don't want it super harsh. You just want it kind of like, just there, hanging out, so people can say, hey, she took that photo. All right, and then now you have 2 layers. You can go ahead and save this file as a photo, or sorry, as a, okay, we have to hit export. So we're gonna go to File, Export, Export As, and here we're gonna make sure it says JPEG. We're gonna hit Export, and then you can put it in your folder, your Google Drive, My Drive, find your Photos folder, and then save. All right, and there, actually I would have renamed this my name and then watermark, because if what I just did, I saved over my original photo and it flattened it. So now, like if I open that other JPEG file, this layer isn't gonna be here. It'll be flattened like this, and I won't be able to go back and take that off if I wanted to use it for print, okay? So rename your file before you save it. Just rename it the same name and then watermark. All right, that's how you create a watermark in Photoshop.